This is the plaintiff, Darman Gardner. He says he purchased a riding lawnmower from the defendant, and the guy sold him a machine that leaked oil and had a loud knocking noise. When he asked for his money back, the defendant told him he spent it to pay off his bills. Huh? Bottom line, the guy unloaded a mower in deplorable condition, and he deserves his $1,405 back. This is the defendant, James Henderson. He says he most definitely sold the lawnmower in as-is condition and has no control over how the thing was treated once he sold it. The plaintiff's a fool. He owes him nothing and is confident the judge will agree. He's accused of clipping a guy, but good.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff bought a lawnmower from the defendant, and the thing leaked like crazy. But the defendant says it was as is, so tough. It's the case of Me Mower.
Darman Gardner?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing James Henderson for $1,405, the cost of a mower, lost wages, punitive damages, and a tune-up that you spent trying to get that mower working as you say he represented. Tell me what happened.
Well, my wife and I recently purchased a house at the beginning of this year, and we realized that the mower we had wasn't going to mow the lawn. You know, it's a fairly big, long half-acre. And so we decided to search around for a mower. I found Mr. Henderson's on Craigslist. I contacted Mr. Henderson. I asked him what his bottom line was on the mower, how much he would take cash today. He said $700. I had asked him, I said, you know, how old's the mower? He said it's about 7 years old. I said, okay, you know, $700 for a 7-year-old mower. Then I asked him, I said, you know, what's wrong with it? And he said nothing. I said, so it's in good mechanical condition? He said, yes. I said, okay, I'll come over and have a look.
Have you ever had a ride mower before?
Yeah. I've had several.
You've had several, okay.
Yeah. When I got to his house, the mower was on top of the hill. I did a quick look over of it, you know. So I said, okay, I'll take, after, you know, he demonstrated it. He says I looked at
How
thoroughly.
long did he demonstrate? How did he demonstrate it?
He put the thing in gear. He moved it forward 10 inches. He moved it back 10 inches. Everything seemed to be okay.
Did you test drive it?
I did not. I did not. Well, I mean, I didn't know.
But why not?
I don't know. Because, I mean, I didn't think it was necessary. He seemed like a nice, honest guy that would...
Who you've known all your life?
Well,
I mean, what difference does it make whether he seems like a nice, honest guy? You're buying a used item that's 7 years old. Why would you not test drive it?
Well, when he moved it, it sounded fine.
For the 10 inches? Did you move it 10 inches?
I don't recall exactly how far, Your Honor. I moved it forward and backward.
Do you guys know what 10 inches is?
Yeah, it's about this far.
Yeah, but not even. But okay, so like, you know.
I had just driven it around the yard and...
In front of him?
No, before he got there.
Is it me? Like, why wouldn't, if you're buying a mower and you have grass, right? You're not like in Manhattan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he could have test driven it on your grass. Is there a reason he couldn't? Is there something I don't know about mowers?
No reason at all, ma'am.
So why wouldn't you, who are buying the item?
Because when it's running, you would think that if you put it in gear and
How'd that work out for you?
What do you mean?
Well, when it's running, you would think that when you put it in gear, how'd that work out for you?
Well,
that little philosophy.
It didn't work out too good. Obviously, I'm here. But.
Okay, so how'd that work out for you? I guess so. I'm not so crazy, right? That maybe people should test drive things before they buy them. Or either here's something even more renegade, have a mechanic look at them. All right, so now you bought it on the 30th of March?
Correct.
Okay, and then you take it home. And
I took it home. Me and my wife lugged the thing out of the back of my truck. I pulled it around, started the mower. I got on and started the mower. I pulled it around the back of my house. I have a little grassy knoll. I took it up the grassy knoll. As soon as I went up the hill, the engine kind of stuttered and it was banging. I said, okay. So I pulled it over to the side of my deck. I checked the oil and I noticed that the oil was over full.
Over full?
Over full, yes, over the full mark.
Okay.
And I looked under the engine and there was a steady drip coming down. And I said, well, maybe it's just because it's over full on oil that it's coming somewhere. I don't know. So immediately I went to Lowe's. I purchased an air filter, spark plug, oil filter, oil. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't want to think that he would, you know, sell me the mower with an oil leak. So I serviced the oil.
You didn't want to think that what?
I didn't want to think that he would sell me the mower being in the state it was in. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, what is the state the mower's in? Have you ever had a mechanic look at it?
Yes.
Can I see the mechanic's report?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so go ahead.
So anyway, I did the tune-up, and it was about 8 o'clock at night.
You did the tune-up?
I did. I am a technician, ma'am. bronze certified Chrysler Tech, and so I'm kind of disappointed in myself as well.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What kind of technician are you?
I'm an automotive technician. I currently work in the
And
marine
you didn't,
industry.
the diagnosis here is that the engine has a crack on the right side, and you didn't see the engine.
No, man. There's big covers that go over the top of the
Do the
engine.
covers come off?
They do, but I
And
mean, you
you,
don't
as
normally,
a mechanic, didn't look at the engine.
Well, I mean, you don't normally bring your tool bag and rip a motor apart.
No,
or a
I
tractor
don't.
apart.
I don't normally
think
bring my tool
anybody
bag.
does, to be
I
honest.
kind of expect you to, but I don't normally bring my tool bag.
Well,
What's going on here? Did you sell him a mower that you? He says that he needs a new engine now on the mower, that you just sold him a piece of goods and lied about it. What's going on?
So is not test driving a lawnmower as stupid as not test driving a used car?
Well, not test driving a lawnmower is as stupid as buying candy that you haven't tried before. Like, it doesn't make sense. You
I mean,
always,
the candy that you actually buy, you just sample in the store and then decide to buy it or not?
yeah, it's basically.
Okay, I'm buying that. That's called shoplifting, going inside the courtroom.
I had the mower for quite a few years. We used it in our yard when it was larger. I decided to turn our front yard into a garden and didn't need the mower anymore. And our son's a teenager now, so I've got him using a push mower. I listed on Craigslist for $800.
So he comes over, he sees a mower,
He comes over.
doesn't test drive it. You
Don't-
move it 10 inches and then 10 inches. At 20 inches is enough for him. He's a
believe me, I
mechanic.
did.
Gotcha. Go on.
Ran it, turned on the blades, showed him that the bags work on the back and whatnot. He played with it for a few minutes, looked at it, heard it run, shut it off, said, "I'll take it," and he left. The following morning, or the following day, I was at work, he called me and said that he had taken the lawnmower home, did a tune-up on it, did an oil change on it, and now it's leaking oil, and he wants a refund.
Did he ever say anything about a crack in a motor?
Not until today.
I didn't see anything in your complaint about a crack in the motor. You don't. Not once in your complaint you say anything about an engine.
Yeah,
being
well,
cracked.
I forgot to mention that, but I mean,
Forgot to mention the engine was cracked.
Well, no.
But tell me about, why are you suing $700 it costs a motor, but you're suing for double that? Why?
Well, I'm suing for $700 for the cost of the mower, $144 for lost wages, $61 that I put into the mower going to Lowe's, and $500 punitive damages.
On account of what?
On account of that, well, it ruined my Easter Sunday with my family. I was pretty upset, I mean, really, as a technician, going in front of my family and telling them about this story, it was, see? That's what I get.
I bet it ruined your Easter.
The thing of it is somebody JB welded the block, man.
Somebody what?
JB welded the block. It says
What does
on
that
there-
mean?
It means somebody took a 2-part epoxy metal alloy and patched the crack on the block. That's what it says on the receipt there. The block has been patched. Mr. Henderson states that there was no sign of any oil leaks. I have pictures here of his original posting ad that I would like to share with you.
Crack has been what?
Patched, I believe that's what it says.
What do people do when there's a crack? They patch it?
Well, you can use JB Weld. I mean, some people can repair engine blocks.
Okay, do you know anything about that?
No, Your Honor.
Did you patch it?
No, Your Honor.
Did you have it patched? Did you ever have a motor repair?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then why do you suppose it's there?
I have no idea.
Well, are you the original owner?
I am.
So you don't think this is, you think this is false?
I don't doubt that it's true. I think it may be something the plaintiff might have put on there trying to patch the crack in the block.
You think he cracked it?
Driving
Driving it over the grassy knoll? Once again, the grassy knoll solves a mystery.
It was not cracked and spewing oil when I ran it. It wasn't cracked when it was sitting here.
Yeah,
it wasn't cracked when we loaded up into his truck. It wasn't cracked until after he went home and worked on it.
Okay, Mr. Gardner, I like you. I may not have liked you on Easter Sunday when you were all torqued up about this, but I certainly like you now. You have a good attitude about it, and you're a funny guy. But I don't understand how it is that I can possibly order him to pay you back the money under these circumstances.
Because
No.
Okay.
That's a rhetorical question, not a real question. Because the problem is you bought an item as is, and somebody's saying it's mechanically sound. Is it mechanically sound? Yep, runs well. That's a classic statement under the law that does not create a warranty. There's a million cases that talk to that. When someone says, yeah, it runs really well, that is not a warranty. A warranty is something very specific. And you know, you had every opportunity to test drive this, to look at it. You're actually a car mechanic. That's the part that has you so angry, and that makes this even so much noteworthy for me. But if there's an oil leak, I expect you to see it, and I expect you to kind of see it soon.
One of the photos, man.
And well, then the photos of that you're showing me of the bottom of the thing are, you know, for all I know, when you're driving it around, stop talking and listen. When you're driving it around, you hit a rock and that ends up. I have no idea how that ends up. But the bottom line is that the law is that it's an as-is sale, and that you should have been more careful, just like you feel in your heart, and that I cannot find in your favor under these circumstances. My verdict's for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And with that, the plaintiff has just bought himself a lawnmower.
Junk, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but it's your reputation as a mechanic that's
Well, I
at
believe
stake
it's
here.
an as-is, as-in good mechanical condition situation. And, well, I mean, if the law is the law, that's the law.
Yeah, you learned a little about the law there.
There you go.
And so what about your reputation? Is it still intact, you think?
Oh, yeah,
or-
absolutely. You know, one bad instance doesn't create.
All right. Did you JB weld that thing?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
All right.
12 hours I JB welded it, and all that grass and oil got on the bottom of the mower.
Okay. All right. All right. How could he JB weld it in just 12 hours?
I have no idea. It's the first time I've heard of it, and it's been a couple of months since he bought the mower.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think happened? You think he cracked that thing?
I think he cracked it. I think he put too much oil in it, and being a high-pressure crankcase, from what I've read on the internet, if you overfill it with oil, when you change the oil, you can crack it.
And that thing you're saying was in not perfect, but good working order with no problems?
It was used, but there was no oil, with no problems.
No cracks.
It ran.
All right, Harvey, as is. Pretty simple. An as-is deal can be undone by fraud, and that's it.